Crystal Ball music.
Yeah, it's Mr. Cardi.
It's simply magical.
DJ Dish. I want you right now. I need you right now. I want you right now. I need you right now.
And now on with Writey things. Welcome to the Writey show, where I talk about life stuff and write stuff. Segment where I'm basically just talking about what's been going on with my week, letting you guys know the stuff I'm learning as an author, and giving you my tips, stuff that I've learned. Hopefully they can help you out. If not, at least you'll be a little bit entertained by my talkiness. So it's been a long week. The segment's actually a little late. I apologize for that. It's been a rough week. Lots of life stuff. Lost 2 friends this week, and it hit me a lot harder than I thought it would. It's very hard to just know that people who you care about are no longer existing in the world. Like, you never see them again, and you never get to share a beer again, stuff like that. And it was rough. It was a bit rough. But there were good people, and hopefully in time we'll start to remember the good things about them, the stuff that made us laugh. So let's talk about highs and lows of the week. I'm pretty sure I just gave you my lows for the week. Lost 2 friends. Hit me pretty hard. That was that. I was having a lot of trouble finding a high this week, to be honest. I think my high may have been that my son really amused me. My kids are very into video games. Very into video games. If they're not playing video games, they're thinking about playing video games or making songs from the video games that they play, So this morning, he comes up and he asks me, "Mom, I want to play the game." And I was like, well, no. I say no because they only allotted like a certain amount of hours in the day to play the game. And it was early, so I was like, what are they going to do for the rest of the day? So he said, "Can I play the game?" And I was like, no. And what kind of messed me up was like his reaction. I was sitting there and I go, "No." He's like, "No?" Like, I had no right whatsoever to say no. And it kind of took me aback. And I was thinking to myself, like, I did mean no, didn't I? Like, I had to give myself a little talk. Like, you are the parent. Yes, you did mean no. Stand your ground. No means no. And he was just like, oh, he just stormed off. It was hilarious. That was probably my high for the week. After he left, I had a good laugh about it, even though I was a little bit disturbed. Alright, so you guys are going to have to excuse me. I may have to keep stopping multiple times because my kids keep coming in and out. Looks like it's going to be one of those segments. So shout out for the week. That's what we're doing now. I'm sorry. Laugh of the week. Go to El Marlowe, Crystal Holloway, and Heather Nicole Schneider. Actually, Elle's was just a picture that she put up, and then I kind of scribbled my own thing across it, but I'll still give her that laugh because it made me laugh when I saw it. So these are our laughs for the week. Enjoy, guys.
Vibe with me, I be feeling your style. I don't care if you with your man, ride with me when we going downtown. I'ma swear you know who I am, Comfortable, but take it slow. Fast forward, take it off. A minute all day, all night. You can take all of my time, girl, give me that. If you with it, I'll be optimistic.
Okay, writing tip. My writing tip is about anchoring. This week I'm going to talk about anchoring and like what I think anchors a reader to a book. Actually, there's several things, I mean, there's so many techniques you use, setting and the hook, but today specifically I'm going to talk about the hook. The hook is that thing that makes your reader want to go, ooh, what's going on there, that type of thing. And I always think it's best to establish a hook at the beginning. So let's say if your book is about a murder of a senator and everyone's trying to find out and it looks like it's an internal type thing, it's always best to establish your hook at the beginning, draw in your reader, keep them interested. It wouldn't help if you're talking about the senator's thing for like a whole chapter, then somewhere in the middle he dies, and you have to draw in your readers like as soon as possible. Something I'm just learning to do. Establish your hook at the beginning of the novel. That's my writing tip. Question for the week, before we talk about our awesome author T.W. Embry and his book Revenge from Mars. question for the week was what I actually found it funny. I'm sorry. It was, what were you like in school? Were you good in English? Answer the second part first. I was really good in English. I enjoyed it. It was like my favorite class. It's the only one that, I was always like desperate to get an A. Best class. I loved it. Math, not so much, but I did love English. It was pretty good. What was I like? It depends who you're asking. If you ask my little brother, he would say I was a nightmare. And I would agree. I was kind of like a nightmarish kid, Hopefully I've evolved from that. But some people would say I was okay. Like I said, it just depends who you're asking. Maybe not ask the teachers so much. Yeah. But yeah, that's the question for the week. Thank you for that question. And the other, okay, actually I did get like another question, but it was in French, and like my French is conversational. So dude, I have no idea what you were asking me, but thank you for asking the question. I'm pretty sure I can figure it out at some point, but I didn't have time this week. Alright, so let's talk about our author, T.W. Embry, and his book, Revenge from Mars. So we're going to do our usual thing. We're going to show the book cover, the author, and his awesome writing tip. So you guys know what you're looking at. So, T.W. Embry for you, Revenge from Mars. Here we go.
You the best in the club. Shorty, you the best in the club. Shorty, you the best in the club. Shorty, you the best in the club. So girl, vibe with me, I be feeling your style. I don't care if you with your man. Ride with me when we going downtown. I'ma swear you know who I am. Comfortable, but take it slow. Fast forward, take it off.
Alright, so let's talk about revenge. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. My week was long. Like I said, I didn't even get to read the book that much. I think I got to like maybe 3 or 4 pages, and I liked the 3 or 4 pages, so I can't really tell you like what I think about it based on 4 pages. That would be really unfair, okay? But I can tell you that it seems like it's going in a good direction. Last week I told you what the book is about, but I always like to explain it better in my own words. So as we read along, we'll talk about that a little more and tell you what's happening there. I did ask the desert island question. So, T.W. Embry, if you were stuck on a desert island and you only had one author, and only one author that you could read while you were there, who would it be? T.W. Embry had a hard time choosing. It was like a toss-up between Edgar Allan Poe and Robert Heinlein. But T.W. Embry, you can only have one. I'm not trying to be like the question Nazi over here, but one. He said if he had Edgar Allan Poe, he'd probably grow depressed after a while. You're on an island alone and you're reading Poe. Poe is depressing. Poe is depressing. No joke. He's one of the darkest people I know. I love him. He's so dark. But you could only have one. So I picked Robert Heinlein in your stead because you were being all greedy. So, So Robert Heinlein, that's who he'd be stuck reading if he were on a desert island. Sorry, I couldn't even get into the book that much, you guys. But I promise, I'm probably going to read it tonight. Don't have a lot going on. I'm a fast reader. I'll probably be done. And then next week, I'm going to tell you all about the awesomeness of revenge. It actually started off pretty good. It had me drawn in. I just had like a lot of life stuff going on. I couldn't even get into my right stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed the segment of Writey Things. I hope I didn't get too depressing with that. Maybe I can get my Edgar Allan Poe on and just write some dark poetry about the darkness of life, that kind of thing. I mean, at least he used his powers for good, sort of, right? Anyway, thank you for watching Writey Things. Be back next week, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts on revenge. It's going good so far, first 4 pages, but like I said, we can't judge, us not fair. So I'll hit you guys up next week. We'll talk about this a little more. Have a great weekend. Be good, be safe. And to all my people out there, I'm just glad you're all in my life. Have a great weekend.